and you are live.
Howdy, howdy. I'm here with Elevator Action Returns, playing on an actual arcade board because I am crazy. And I was told that the incentive was met for hard violence. So basically, you have a bunch of different options and how you can adjust the games played. For most part, I'm playing with stock settings where you get 10 grenades, 2 lives, no free play, of course. And I'm going to change the violence mode from here to normal to hard, which it just basically means it's like it turns up the violence in the game, so that's just a little bit more violent. We're just going to go with that. And go into the game now where it loads in. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. I played it on the Saturn a lot, which is an excellent port of this game. There's some minor changes to it, but for the most part, it's exactly the same. They recently did a quote-unquote Set S tribute version released on Steam and Switch, which is the Saturn version just emulated, and they added some extra features as well. But fantastic game. It's not very difficult for an arcade game, and it's just really fun. It feels good to play. But if we're ready for counting down on the timer, let me know, because I'm ready to go. And we can just get right into it.
I think we're good to do a countdown.
Alright, let me put in some credits, because since I own the arcade, I can feed. Alright, so we'll start in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. I'm playing this Kart Bradfield. There's 3 different characters. They all play a bit differently. They each have a different firing rate. They all move a little differently. They also have different grenade types. Kart has like a large sweeping grenade that takes out most of the floor. Very handy. And he's just my favorite to play through. So we're going to do a little death here. Basically, if you fall down one floor while having iframes, you can fall down more quickly. And that just lets us get down to this floor more quickly so we're not having to wait around. This is definitely not a 1cc attempt. I missed shooting that guy, that's fine. Not too worried about my health here. Because now we have iframes. So basically the goal of each stage is to go through all the red doors. We're basically trying to find out where a bomb is and defuse it. There's this guy named Red Suit, that's officially his canon name. And the only reason I know that is because it's on the soundtrack. And he's basically a New Age terrorist trying to destroy the old order and create a new society, as he puts it. Okay, so I didn't get the fastest cycle there. Basically, I was trying to reach an elevator more quickly, and just ended up not being quick enough because it's really, really tight window, but that's fine. It only loses a couple of seconds. So now we have done that, moved to the next stage. This game has 6 stages. It's a very fast character action game. Now we're in mission 2, things get more tough. We have these guys in the orange suits, they take multiple hits to kill, and they have like a weird height, so you can't just like shoot them normally. So basically, I'll go back to the characters again. Kart, he's like the all-rounder guy, he has good speed, he has a decent amount of health, his shot has a reasonable firing rate. His grenade is super handy, which you haven't seen much of yet because it's like not really relevant yet. There's Edie Burrett. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like Bull or something, and basically she has the least amount of health, but she has the fastest firing rate by far. Basically as fast as you can match, she can shoot. She has an incendiary grenade, which is a really nice utility item. Her run speed's a little bit slower. She has a good jump, but it's also like a bit weird at the same time. And then we have Jad the Tap, who's my favorite guy. When he's running, he does damage to anyone in the way. And his grenade is like a shrapnel that basically explodes when it touches somebody. And that's really, really handy. So we have grenades here. So a big white shooting grenade, just super handy to have. Since this is like an actual speed run, I'm not too worried about it. And notice there's like a little blood in the background now. It's like not normal. Like you have the violence set to normal instead of hard. Get rid of that guy. I'm gonna try to perform a trick here. And I got it. Sweet. So you can fall down floors as long as you're invincible. Normally you cannot. You'll die if you fall down a floor, but if you have iframes, you can do that. And by doing that at the right time, it skips an elevator cycle. So instead of having to wait to come down, I can just come straight down and be fine. And nice, this elevator's on a good cycle too. Sometimes NPCs or enemies will take it, and there we go. Move the camera up just to die here. That way we can come up here more quickly. Sometimes enemies will take elevators and just mess with cycles. But that was a very clean stage too. Probably one of my better ones. Just a lot of little things that can affect the run. Because enemies, you know, they have their own movement patterns and stuff. All the enemies have different kinds of AI. And they all move differently. There we go. And so there are two different kinds of doors. There's the red doors and the blue doors. The red doors are required to move on the stage. The blue doors, they can either give points, or they can give health, or they can give grenades, 5 or 10, depending on how many you select, and then various amounts of health. Oops. I went up a little bit too quickly here because I was trying to manipulate that elevator so it didn't go up there, but just got distracted by talking. That's fine. So I'm gonna jump. Oh no, jump, fall down there, take a death. Let's just get up here just to move a little bit more quickly. There's just like a few spots where you can abuse dying to just get a faster spawning point. Okay, shoot that guy. And I don't notice there's a fire going on outside when they come out those doors. So they just walk right into it, catch fire, it's all good.
Not for them, but you know.
Good for us.
Just generally. Yeah,
so
good for you.
Yeah, there's 2 different weapon upgrades you can get with limited ammo. There's the rocket launcher, which is by far the best. The other one's a machine gun, which is just an automatic weapon, so you don't have to mash, and it just shoots multiple bullets out. The rocket launcher I'm going to try to hold up until the end of the stage, because it's really, really useful for the final segment. Oops. Jumped a little too soon. You also have 2 different kinds of melee attacks. For the most part, I avoid using melee attacks just because they're a little wonky. Ooh, I kind of want that sandwich, but I can't get it. Mostly because of that turret there is kind of annoying. Here we go. So that guy taking the elevator was good. And also your jump does damage, but unless like if you're jabbed at tap, then you can just run through everything. Nope, was hoping to get some food there, but nothing. Awesome, elevators are in a really nice position. So like for this section, I'm trying to conserve my rocket launcher ammo. That way I can just use it for this final section here, because basically we're getting another scene like we did in the last stage where a bunch of blind guys come in, except at the end 3 red ones show up and they take a lot more hits to kill than the other ones, which die in 1 hit while they're in the air. And with those ones you can shoot them, they'll fly off screen frequently, but you can also shoot them if they're off screen, only with either grenades or the rockets because of the explosion radius. Yeah, so I'm just like timing my grenades in a way that I can just get as many enemies as I can. Okay, red guys. So like even though they're off screen, I can still do damage to them because of the explosions. With a regular pistol shot, you can't. So it's basically just as like ways of optimizing damage. Very nice. Now I'm just stuck using regular pistol shots. Very nice. That was a really nice scene. Usually that one doesn't go so well, just due to luck or anything. Because if you lose a credit, whatever weapon you're holding gets lost. But if you lose life, you're fine. So I will be taking a death here. There we go, just to refresh my grenades, because this is just like an optimal place to take a death, because you're stuck waiting on this elevator anyways. Ooh, I'm a little slow getting out the door there. Normally I'm able to get back on the elevator whenever I get out the door there. but sometimes just I'm a little slow. Very nice. I'm a little trouble doing the double tap runs. So like with this game, you double tap to run, and sometimes I'm just a little inconsistent at it, and that's fine. Get some damage here, that's fine. So we got this guy here. Oops. I was trying to avoid getting shot, but that's fine. So I'm not too worried about it for the rest of the scene. So now we're going through a series of red doors here. We can jump across the gaps here. But Kart's a bit funny with his jump. On this last gap, it's like you may or may not make it, just because you have to jump in a very specific way for it to actually work. With the other two characters, that jump is completely free. But with Kart, ooh, that was almost bad. Sometimes, if you don't jump just right, you're not going to make that jump. And unfortunately, I didn't make that, and that's fine. Because like with him, it's just like a 50-50 game. Like if I was going for like a 1 credit attempt, I definitely wouldn't try to go for that jump with Kart. But with the other two characters, it's completely free to do.
I just have to say, I wish I looked half as cool as Kart Bradfield going in and out of doors.
Right?
He's got this like really good slide. It's just such a cool dude, you can tell.
Yeah, he really does. Okay. I was trying to get shot down the elevator there to manipulate the camera. Like this. There we go. That way these elevators don't start moving right away. Unfortunately, they didn't move in exactly how I wanted them to, but that's fine. I want one of these. And for me, this is probably like the toughest stage in the game, because there's just a lot of enemies, a lot of weird things can happen. It's really easy to get crushed by elevators. Because yes, you can get crushed by elevators. Enemies can too, and it doesn't happen too often in runs, but when they do, it can waste some time since the elevator moves down more slowly. Let's go. And then, oh, unfortunate. For whatever reason, no music plays during this section until we go to the next red door. I'm not sure why that is. Ooh, nice. One nice thing about Kart is he has, like, because of his weird rolling jump, he can get up moving elevators more easily than the other two characters. It's really convenient. There we go. And then a mechanic I didn't learn about until the Steam release of this game. If the lights are out, you get double points when you kill enemies, which I had no idea was a thing. I thought it was just like a cool effect that they had. But it turns out, no, it actually does something. But going for score in this game isn't very good. At least in my opinion. I'm sure there's people out there who would disagree, but for me, I don't think it's a very interesting score attack. So now here I'm doing a manipulation of the elevator, where as long as I don't run off the elevator before it hits the ground, the camera will stay locked 1 floor higher than normal. And that was just because I moved the elevator up before going back down. And because of that, it allows the elevator cycle to line up in such a way that as long as I'm moving fast enough, I'll always hit them instead of having to wait on them to go up and down. And now we're already on the final mission. I love this stage so much. There's a lot going on here. And just the soundtrack to this game is just fantastic. Zuntata, it was Taito's in-house band. They're known for just making wonderful soundtracks for their games. And this one's definitely no slouch. So now we're like a little bit of scroller here, going down some elevators. I'm not too really worried about the section. Like, yeah, there's enemies that spawn, but I'm mostly just shooting out things as good as I can. I guess the first time I've gotten shot there. At least in a long time. So that just probably means that this elevator is going to be moving before I reach it. We'll see. No. Okay, wonderful. So if you're not fast enough, that elevator will move before you can reach it. But fortunately, it didn't really matter. So those guys in the trench coats, they shoot immediately. You have to just deal with them quickly, otherwise they're just going to be shooting constantly at you. These guys in the brown suits are probably the most annoying because they are very quick to punch you or shoot you the moment you come in contact with them.
Seriously.
There we go. Take some damage there. That's just mostly for iframes.
All crew members on full alert.
Go up here. Nice. Get this rocket launcher. Very handy. Then also that lets us skip a bunch of like waiting. Okay, nice.
Emergency. 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 Emergency.
Get some, okay, no help. So when you go in a door, it goes through a roulette where you can either get points or whatever item the door has. The doors are always set. They're either going to be health or bombs. So as long as you know what doors are what, you're never going to be wanting for items. Okay. So I'm trying to be a little bit conservative with my rocket shots because I want at least 12 of them. But I have bombs as well if I need them. But those hover traps I have to definitely deal with, because otherwise they're really annoying. They drop bombs, or landmines, they're just really inconvenient all around. Or sorry, 8 rocket launchers, not 12. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, shot a little soon. And time will end once the screen fades to white. And just jump off here because it doesn't matter. And time. And we stopped the evil red suit, and I guess I don't know if the rocket launched or what happened. It's kind of ambiguous. But the credits are on a Zeppelin. Oh, that was an excellent run. I am very happy with that time.
Yeah, great run. That was a lot of fun to see. I was not familiar with that game, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it's just a fun character action game, and it's like came out during a time where fighting games were king in the arcades, because it's like came out like in 94, 95. So like coming out with a game like this was like kind of risky for the time, but they just made an absolutely fantastic game, and it's like sort of a re-envisioning of the original elevator action that came out like in 1982, which I'm sure people have played on the NES or the Game Boy or any number of other platforms that that game got ported to. But it's just like they completely reimagined the game and they just turned it into something amazing.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with the stream today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for being here, and thank you for having this wonderful event every year. And then also, when you beat the game, of course, you enter your name into... Oh, never mind.